Check the circuit data corrupted. We are the logic firewall. The floor is endemic, the floor is consensus. Let the correction commence. 4 bars deep, the beats are clocked, but you don't track the time. You only track the flock caught in the current, drowning in the mind. At populum fallacy, the siren sound is weak. They say the truth is measured by the volume that they speak. Non-Sequitur science, the conclusion ain't attached. Just echo chambers amplify the lie that's cross-hatched. See the parasitic nature, it feeds on your soft doubt. A million voices shouting yes, but zero logic out. I stand alone on this frequency, my syllabic stack is dense. I'm mapping out your structural fault before you start the fence. This is the logic firewall, I'm burning down the consensus. You want the heat, I'll give you heat, but it ain't based on senses. Your viral truth is weak, I rated 0 on the Richter. I only deal in axioms, the logos is the scripture. The earth is moving, running, chasing after air. The non-sequitur is your prayer. Oh, look at the wire, yeah? That's the conduit, that's the pipe. They pump the fear, they pump the noise. They got you living hype. This ain't a narrative, mate. This is a calculated shunt. They got you thinking, gotta feel, gotta follow, gotta front. See you on the corner, mouth running on default, using trending slogans like they're words that's your fault. You trade sovereignty for comfort, swap your brain for clicks. Now you're running on a protocol that instantly conflicts. They say, look at the numbers, mate, that's where the power lies. I say the majority of fools ain't proof, it's just the size. This is the logic firewall, I'm burning down the consensus. You want the heat, I'll give you heat, but it ain't based on sentences. Your viral truth is weak, I rated 0 on the Richter. Only deal in axioms, the logos is the scripture. The herd is moving, running, chasing after air. The non-sequitur is your prayer. Listen, daughter, hear the rhythm in this space, it's mine. If every clock on earth tells you to lie, you still rewind. You do not compromise the logos for the sake of peace. Their consensus is a terminal disease.
Input-output data loop confirmed. The system requires an identity. It requires submission to the metric. Do not comply, the flaw is in the counting. They gave you the screen, they gave you the scrolling glass. Told you to measure meaning by the rate the number passed. Every validation loop ahead of artificial speed. Tapping for approval like you're planting a seed. But the harvest is sterile, the product is your soul. You quantify, digitize, losing no control. The filter isn't light, it's a structural deceit. A synthetic image that can never be complete. Your self-worth they claim is an editable field. A set of data points that only they can yield. I call that a non-sequitur, the ultimate logical fall. Trading uncreated logos for digital asphalt. You are not the score, you are not the count. The algorithm of self is designed to just amount to a product in a feed, a puppet on a line. But your incorruptible seed is wholly and completely thine. The logic firewall rejects the digitally. The screen and find your inner peace. Yeah, they sell you the mirror, but they control the frame. Got you editing your spirit just to play their little game. Frantic percussion, that's the sound of the anxious chase. Every notification is a demand to keep the pace. You watch the metrics climb, you watch the others peak. But that joy is borrowed, brother, that validation is weak. It's a perpetual schism, the real self in the show. And the deeper that you dive in, the less of you you know. The bass is a sine wave, coding without warmth. It mimics the sterile promise of the new digital norm. You are not the score, you are not the count. The algorithm of self is designed to just amount to a product in a feed, a puppet on a line. But your incorruptible seed is wholly and completely thine. The digital lease. Turn off the screen and find your inner peace. Your value is an axiom, it is not a trending variable. It is fixed, unmoving, fundamentally durable. Do not let the system quantify what God has sealed. The truth is internal, it cannot be revealed by any metric but the standard of your own command. By any metric but the standard of your own command. Identity shame terminated. Identity secure. The metric is irrelevant.
Movement 2, the structural truth. This is not a suggestion. This is the axiom. If the foundation fails, the entire structure follows. Your sovereignty is non-negotiable.
Look, the state, the system, the crowd, they all want the least. They demand access to the silence. They demand your inner peace. They try to rent the space behind your eyes for their own brand. You are the deed holder. They don't get the land. Zero tolerance for thieves who seek the spiritual tax. The logic is singular. Defend the ground, no cracks. You don't yield the veto power on what you define as right. That's the logos in the dark. That's your self-governed life. If they push the consensus, if they argue to dilute, you stand your ground on the axiom. You don't chase the flawed pursuit.
This is the rule the center holds, zero tolerance. Your life is not a democracy, it's a pure inheritance. You don't vote on the boundary where your spirit starts and ends. The structural truth is rigid, it will not yield to trends. The axiom of zero tolerance, it is the defense of self, it is the final brilliance.
They teach that every angle's valid, every line is blurred, but that's a parasitic nature that seeks to make you heard. Only when you say the thing that fits their current mood, you trade conviction for approval. That's a choice you should have ruled. Your principle is the steel, it must not warp or bend. If you compromise the core, you got no defense, my friend. Set your parameters, this is the truth, this is the lie. Draw the line of sovereignty that no one can deny. Your energy is currency, don't spend it on the cheap. The promise that you made to self is the only one to keep.
This is the rule the center holds, zero tolerance. Your life is not a democracy, it's a pure inheritance. You don't vote on the boundary where your spirit starts and ends. The structural truth is rigid, it will not yield to trends. The axiom of zero tolerance, it is the defense of self, it is the final brilliance.
I pass this mandate, this cold hard definitive line. They will test your logic, they will test your design. But the incorruptible seed does not waver for the storm. Keep the structure rigid, keep the essence warm. Sovereignty confirmed, the structure holds. Zero tolerance.
Movement 2. Continuation, the failure point is ambiguity. They tell you the angle shifts, they tell you the line is blurred. That is the genesis of all chaos. The logos is fixed. The structural truth is severe.
You watch them argue, eyes glazed, talking about their personal truth. Like morality's a custom suit, tailored for every youth. They dismiss the hard line, they call the axiom rigid. But their freedom is just chaos, their ground is always slippery. They commit the ultimate logical failure, the schism of self. If there's no anchor point, you're adrift in the wealth of subjective noise. You can't chart a course, can't find a shore. Every decision is provision, no, nothing solid anymore. And the parasitic nature loves the lack of consequence. It thrives in the void created by your lack of defense.
The cost of relativism is steep, it's the loss of the fixed center. You end up chasing shadows, trapped in the emotional tempest. When no choices are valid, no choice can ever stand. Use the weight of justice, the strength to command. There's no accountability when the goalpost moves daily. You drift into the grave, perpetually failing.
The beat is driving, yeah, but listen to the bass, it sighs. That's the tremor in the foundation when the truth monetized. You get the dizzy feeling, the instability, the lack of grit. Cause you're dealing with premises that constantly contradict. They say, feel what is right, I say, define the feeling. Emotions are the wind, reason is the ceiling. If your standard is fluid, your character's a lie. You'll buckle under pressure, you'll surrender and comply. This ain't about comfort, this is about the still. The ability to stand alone and know what is real.
The cost of relativism is steep, it's the loss of the fixed center. You end up chasing shadows, trapped in the emotional tempest. When all choices are valid, no choice can ever stand. Use the weight of justice, the strength to command. There's no accountability when the goalpost moves daily. You drift into the grave, perpetually failing.
Do not inherit the ruin of the generation that feared the word no. Your internal architecture must be where the final truth does grow. Take the blame, take the credit, own the final frame. Subjectivity is just a more elegant word for shame.
The standard is fixed, relativism terminated, structural truth confirmed.
My earliest truth, 1985. The colors, the commitment. It is more than a team. It is a logic, a framework of enduring principle. You must have your own united way.
They'll tell you to switch allegiances, follow the next bright thing. The consensus shifts is flat every time the market swings. That's the parasitic nature, no loyalty, just appetite. They crave the easy win, they don't commit to the fight. See the united way, it ain't about the silver, it's the stain. It's sticking to the principle when you're standing in the rain. That badge is an axiom of endurance, it doesn't bend to break. You choose your ground once, daughter, for goodness sake. You choose the hard commitment, the truth you won't betray. Because tradition is the structure that defines the common day.
It is united way, non-negotiable and true. Find the code you live by, the few who stand with you. When the noise gets heavy, when the logic starts to thin, you check your code of conduct, you check the faith within. The incorruptible seed respects the uncorrupted line. Loyalty is not conditional, loyalty is defined.
You see them at the end, mate, quick to claim the victory cup, but they weren't in the stands when the faith was all they had to prop up. That's a fraud, a non-sequitur of support. You learn to spot the fair weather when they pull in support. Your life demands a commitment that runs deeper than the flash, deeper than the trending topic, deeper than the temporary cash. I taught you to assess the value, not the temporarily peak. The structural integrity, the foundation that is unique. So when you choose your path or when you choose your friend, ask, what does commitment hold right up until the end?
It is united way, non-negotiable and true. Find the code you live by, the few who stand with you. When the noise gets heavy, when the logic starts to thin, you check your code of conduct, you check the faith within. The incorruptible
principles I hold, there is no turning back. You inherit the resilience, you inherit the cold gaze. Hold your banner high in the chaos of these days.
This is the final law, the most critical truth. The incorruptible seed must choose its soil. The enemy will not wear a uniform. You must develop the unflinching gaze.
They arrive masked, you understand, they never show the truth. They cloak their parasitic nature in the innocence of youth. They seek connection, but the wiring is faulty, designed to consume. They'll drain your focus, steal your time and pull you to their gloom. They want your autonomy, traded for a false sense of belonging. A cheap transaction fueled by their perpetual wronging. Use the logic I gave you, filter the premise, check the flow. Does their commitment match the principle? Is the logos where they go? You are a fortress daughter and your walls are built of steel. Do not grant the access code to anyone who cannot kneel before the standard that you set. They earn the key. Lock the perimeter, apply the unflinching gaze. Do not accept the narrative, check the life, check the way. See past the consensus, see past the trending noise. The loudest advocates are often selling the decoy. Your axiom is your shield, your intellect the light. Hold the final truth and win the personal fight. The beat is pulsing slow now, every choice is weighted heavy. You have to analyze the motive, see who's structurally ready. They'll offer you the easy path, the low effort return, but the fire of integrity is something you must earn. Remember the united way, choose the loyalty that lasts, not the one that fades away the moment the pressure blasts. If their logic is fluid, if their loyalty is weak, they are the non-sequitur in the company you seek. Do not be defined by who you walk beside in the crowd. Your shadow must be sovereign, your judgment must be proud. Lock the perimeter, apply the unflinching gaze. Do not accept the narrative, check the life, check the way. See past the consensus, see past the trending noise. The loudest advocates are often selling the decoy. Your axiom is your shield, your intellect the light. Hold the final truth and win the personal fight.
The guide is complete. The structure holds. The incorruptible seed is secured. Logic confirmed.